Aries Collective, hello. I already started shuffling, but I had to stop the video and restart it, so you're just getting the tail end of the second deck. How are you doing on this divine path? How's your career? How's your love life? We're going to do two more. So we've got love and money energy here. Two of Cups. Are you dealing with anxiety? Are you dealing with idiots? Mixed communication? Miscommunication? Maybe it's not communication problems. Maybe it's just compatibility problems. Right? Some people just don't speak the same language. And that could be literally or metaphorically or energetically, emotionally. Oh, I finally have coffee. I drink decaf, but it's hard to find a good decaf that isn't all watered down, and I prefer water processed and organic and fair trade if I can get it. But of course, when you find the one that you like, the thing you like, it seems to always be discontinued, right? We have the Hermit and the Six of Swords. Maybe you're feeling a little bit hopeless. Maybe you're losing your faith a little bit in a love connection or in a work situation, like maybe because of these miscommunications or because you seem to be like ships passing in the night. Six of Swords is usually like, the Six of Swords is usually somebody who is the masculine coming in to sort of save the day, lead the feminine out of a situation or a feeling of lack, right? Now, if you're relying on somebody else to remove you from a situation, that could be the holdup, right? You may have to remove yourself from the situation. You definitely don't want to start something if you're still in a connection, if we're talking about love. But this could just be out of fear. You could be single and ready to mingle and all of that, and maybe there's just fear about from past experiences of maybe being misunderstood, being misinterpreted. All right, maybe there's something similar, something superficially similar from past connections or from your parents or your upbringing that this person has, and I feel like it's something superficial, like a name, hair color, eye color, just something that maybe they have the same sign, right? Where you've just experienced that, and maybe you're that's bringing you fear because you're not sure. Because I get a ships passing in the night. This is like a little boat. This is a little canoe. It reminds me of Last of the Mohicans, right? Could be dealing with a Taurus, Daniel Day-Lewis. Maybe your name is Daniel Lewis Day. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo or a Virgo. We have the Hermit here, which tells me that you're in this introspective mode. You're watching. This could be the masculine watching the feminine, right? Like a Page of Swords. But the Page of Swords is someone who's just looking and gathering information. But the Hermit is somebody who is a little bit more skilled at the information that they're gathering. They're a little bit more concise, and Virgos are really kind of obsessed with the why. So they could be looking at why they're attracted to you, why you do the things you do, the way you do the things you do. But we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. All right, so we have Earth and Water here. But this is a solid offer. This is something that is solid, well thought out. Pentacles move slowly, so this is somebody who's put in the work. So this is somebody in that Virgo energy offering a something that they've thought about. Like, they've put a great deal of analysis and what some might consider overthought into it. Maybe they're a deep thinker, overthinker, that sort of Nine of Swords, sleepless nights kind of thing. Like, this person has really thought about it. They say to trust an overthinker when they tell you they love you, because they've thought about every possible reason why they shouldn't, or something like that. If not, take that. Take that. Page of Cups is, again, you guys could feel, and the page is offering their cup in the opposite direction of the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, you could be from two completely different backgrounds. You could be, but you're both pages, right? Like, opposites attract, but opposites attract in the ego, because you want someone who challenges your ego. You don't want someone who challenges your spirit. Spiritually, at your core, you guys are the same. You're both pages. You're both coming at this from an inner child perspective. You're both kind of, regardless of your past experiences, you're coming into this like it's new. You're coming into this like children. We have the Three of Swords here, so we're going to look into that a little bit. I don't want to give that too much energy until I get a little bit of clarity on that. But I do feel like maybe it's behind this Page of Pentacles, so maybe past hurt, maybe the masculine has offered this. They've offered their pentacles, they've offered their stability and security and commitment, right? Because pentacles represent commitment, that fixed earth energy, right? So it's like this person is very, they're ready to be all in or all out, and they've offered that to other people who were casual, who were 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and it wasn't reciprocated. So there is, I feel like there's a little bit of fear with that Three of Swords about the past. I don't feel like that's current, because, with the Six of Swords here, it's like there is something new. Okay, well, the Six of Swords and the Devil, and then we have Strength. Well, Strength is the Sun, it's Leo, it's God. The Devil is, Saturn, and attachments and fear, right? So it's the opposing, ideas, and they have their back turned towards each other. So it's like this Three of Swords. I feel like this person's going to bring in an offer regardless of this fear. It's going to take a lot of strength and courage for them. Could be a Leo. Strength, courage. It's like a cowardly lion. Like, their strength is already within them. Their courage is already within them. Maybe they looked to other connections or outside of themselves for courage. So something with their self-worth, something with their insecurities. They've been with people who have fed into their insecurities. The Devil with the Six of Swords. We have the Three of Swords again to clarify the Hermit. So maybe they dealt with a hermit, right? The shadow aspect of Virgo is that they can be, emotionally reclusive and perfectionists, right? It has to be right before they come in, but sometimes you don't know if something is right until you get into it, right? Oh, wow, a lot of mirroring here. So we have the Page of Cups to clarify the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Cups over here, could be dealing with a Pisces. Pisces is the polarity to Virgo. So energetically speaking, if you dealt with someone who was in a Virgo energy or was a Virgo, Pisces has some similarities, but they are, you know, the polarity of it. So it's almost like this person may resemble or have some similarities. You were attracted to that past person. So of course, everybody that you're with is going to have some similarities, even if it's just in potential or superficially, because there is something that you are looking for, and it's actually a mirroring of what you're looking for within yourself, right? You could be attracting your polar sign. I mean, your twin is essentially a polarity to you. You guys are on the same spectrum. You're just maybe at opposite ends. So you are the most overtly masculine sign, being cardinal fire, double fire. Fire is the most masculine element, whereas air and water are the masculine and feminine duality of their androgynous duality of masculine and feminine, of the current, of the unseen. They can be both 5D and 3D. You're very much 3D. And then the Hierophant, Taurus, is the most overtly feminine sign because they're fixed earth. So, you know, maybe you're dealing with a Taurus, maybe you're dealing with your polar sign, which is Libra. So you could be dealing with a Libra. Or maybe you've dealt with a Libra. We're in Libra season. Maybe you're going to be coming together in this season. Now, if you are coming together in this season, we have a lot of conflicting energies or challenging energies with this false moon, this asteroid, PT5, right? PT5, maybe those initials mean something. Maybe you're a life path 5. 5 also puts us into a place of lack. So we have, yeah, 8 of Wands, 7 of Cups. We have wish fulfillment here. 8 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Creator of Fear. Let's see what's going on with this Page of Cups. This Page of Cups, okay, so we have the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, trying to come out with too much additional information here. There's fear here, and I've said it, clear the fear. Yeah, there's too much coming out here. Yeah, seven of Wands, the Empress. Maybe this Page of Cups is the feminine. Maybe they've been dating for a while. They've been trying to attract. Maybe you're the masculine and they've been trying to attract you. Maybe you're the feminine, you've been trying to attract your masculine. But with this Page of Pentacles energy over here, right? The Page of Pentacles is coming to the Page of Cups. They are coming to offer something solid and stable to this Page of Cups. But see how this Page of Cups is sort of like really into their cup, right? It's like if the feminine has been in solitude or in this hermit mode or doing this work by themselves for a long time, right? They could, that's a challenge for the hermit. Coming out of the hermit takes overcoming a lot of fear, but also trust, I mean, which can be difficult. If you're asking why about things, it's hard to trust, and Virgo likes to ask why. They like to know the reason why, and sometimes when you're getting out of something, oftentimes when you're getting out of something, particularly with somebody that's toxic, imbalanced, emotionally reclusive, or narcissistic, you'll never know why. There is no why. You'll never have that closure. So maybe this person's looking for closure. I roll my eyes because, like, come on. We're on the divine path here. We should be beyond, like, needing validation from others. So I hope that's not what's going on here. But they could just be, you know, they want what they want, which is fixed energy, right? And that is that all in, all out energy. So you could be dealing with a fixed sign, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and with the Page of Cups, you get, and Leo. I did say Leo, and I've said Taurus. Could be dealing with an earth sign. We've got Virgo, and we've got the Devil, so we've got Capricorn and Virgo here. But with this pentacle, I feel like there's fixed or earth energy. This person's a very grounded individual, but they could also be very fixed in their nature, right? Like, I've been doing this by myself. I've been, you know, Miss Independent for so long, or Mr. Independent for so long, that like now to let somebody else into my space is triggering their ego. It's triggering this perfect world that they've created, this perfect bubble that they've created. Because we've got the Three of Swords twice to clarify strength, and the Hermit. So I feel like that strength that it takes to come out of the Hermit mode is causing a lot of disappointment. There's disappointment, there's fear, there's past hurt involved in this. This could be a reconciliation, but again, I don't like to read for that, because I feel like what's done is done, right? I'm very Rafiki. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. But also with the Lion King, Leo, it's like, remember who you are, okay? Remember who you are. You're the leader of the pack, right? You're the leader. So if you're the masculine leads, all right? The feminine guides. The feminine follows, but it also guides within, right? They're both leaders, right? They're both, you know, on the polarity or on the duality of the spectrum of masculine and feminine, because we all have masculine and feminine within us. But the feminine leads into the 5D, the masculine leads into the 3D, right? And so if you are a feminine Aries, then you're needing to lead this individual into the 5D, right? Which means you need to tune into your 5D and make sure that you are guarding and protecting that from devil energy, because I feel like this strength is saying like you're conquering those demons, you're conquering the fear, you're conquering attachments, right? You're gonna have past people coming in with this false moon trying to test you. Like, it's not a real moon. It's not our moon. It's not our intuition. It's a false one. It doesn't even reflect the sun. It's just like this little dark entity that's a shadow that's just sort of orbiting us until we get into Sagittarius season. But we're going through death season. We're going through Scorpio season. So justice, swords is to cut out what doesn't serve you. Scorpio is to let things die, let things end, let things come to a close intuitively, so that you can have a rebirth. And then Sagittarius is shooting your shot, right? It's like making that decision and coming it back into your fire energy. So if you're the feminine Aries, then you're needing to really tap into your intuition, really maybe keep a dream journal, decalcify your pituitary gland, like make sure that you are catering to the physical body, eating things that are, consuming things that are alkaline, not acidic, not things that are going to be disrupting your, you know, maybe not having such a high fat diet or high oil-based diet or processed foods. Like, all of these things are going to be polluting your blood flow. Things that pollute your blood flow, you are a body of water. Those are going to be disrupting the flow of 5D uploads and downloads from our actual moon, right? So if you're looking at superficial things, which Aries can, because you are overtly masculine, energetically speaking, elementally speaking, so you can be focused on the 3D. So you might be really focused on your money, your physical body, but maybe needing to get back into your feminine energy and honing into that. And you can use your masculine energy to hone into that, right? You can use that masculine independence to create a space for yourself so that you're able to cater to that. You can work so you have the money to go do a spa day or whatever it is, right? But sitting with yourself and doing, you can do moving meditations. Maybe the idea of sitting with yourself is a little bit too antagonistic to your mobility and this sort of current inspiration or motivational like drive that you're in. So you can always just walk in nature, right? Instead of being in the gym, get out in nature and ground yourself, get into that earth, get into, if you have any bodies of water that you can walk nearby, you know, maybe going to bodies of water, if you can get into water, get into the water, get into your emotions, get into your, you know, tap back into your feminine energy. Maybe you're going to be running along the beach, right? Get near water, so you can merge your masculine drive and motivation of the 3D with the 5D, right? You need to tap into that. That's good advice for men or women, masculine or feminine. But I feel like that's the feminine really needing to tap into that, because you're trying to tap into your twin, and then the feminine guides with the 5D, right? The feminine attracts with the 5D, and then the masculine discovers and provides in the 3D, to keep safe the feminine and to protect the feminine, so that the feminine can continue to receive the downloads and uploads and preserve and protect the spirit of the union, right? So that's not gender roles, that's energetic roles. Masculine protects in the 3D and provides in the 3D, and the feminine nurtures, provides, protects in the 5D, right? The emotions, and the masculine protects in the ego, right? Keeps it safe and grounded and secure. So we have and so if you're the masculine, you know, you could be too much in your hermit mode. You could be too much in your feminine, where you are not approaching, right? Maybe you're taking a long time, which, you know, slow and steady wins the race. It may not win the race, but it'll definitely last the marathon. So it's like you are, oh, my nose is driving me crazy. What is that? Cut off your nose to spite your face. Yeah, I feel like if you're in this fear-based place and you're taking a long time, you might be trying to make it perfect. Maybe you have a Virgo placement, or you had a Virgo parent or something, that you have a lot of Virgo energy. You could be waiting, or Pisces, you could have a lot of mutable, perfectionist energy, where you do a lot of waiting until it's right. But I feel like if you're trying to make it right in the 3D, you could be cutting off your nose to spite your face, right? You could be taking too long, right? I just saw this thing by Rumi that it said, I don't want to misquote it. I always do this. I'm like, let me quote something, and then I can never remember it. I get testing anxiety. But it's like, my darling, you know, come to me before there is no more me and you left, or let's come together before there's no more me and you left. So I feel like that's where the feminine is. The feminine is kind of like, where's my person? I'm tired of being this, like, in my masculine energy. I'm tired of being Miss, you know, INDEPE. You know what that means. Okay. The Fool is the feminine aspect of the childlike, the innocent, the inner child. Again, we have these pages everywhere. So I feel like this is going to take approaching God like a child. It's going to be approaching this relationship, this connection like a child. I feel like there's an innocence and a vulnerability that is needed from the masculine in order to approach the feminine. And that takes conquering this fear, coming out of this hermit mode, coming out of your need for perfection, the need for it to be right. I feel like the feminine is ready. The feminine is ready for the masculine to approach, because we have 2 pages of cups here. Like, the feminine is really like, I'm here. You know, I'm tired of playing with my fish by myself. So, come play with my fish. Yeah, you could be dealing with a Pisces, but you could also just be dealing with, you know, someone who is very much in their water energy, right? Like, they're starting to get into their emotions about it, But if they're in their masculine aspect and they get into their emotions, that's going to turn into anger and frustration. So maybe that's that like irritability I was feeling at the beginning, where it's like, are you tired of dealing with idiots, right? They're going to start a wasp landed on my hand last night. Ugh. I love bugs, I do, but they scare the shit out of me. I don't know what it is, but it's like my whole body goes into a shock with wasps. And then I just saw one when I was opening up the house and, you know, clearing it out, saging and all that. Well, actually, incense saging, because my white sage that I ordered said that it was delivered, and I ended up getting rubber gloves and a scrubber brush. So something with like cleaning your house, something with like cleaning your space, clearing your space, keeping your energy protected and clean, because I feel like there's sort of these, and maybe you come from waspy sort of money, right, where like everything is sort of or maybe that's just the energy that you're in, where wasps, when you think about like waspy society, they don't talk about feelings, right? So with this Page of Cups, with the Six of Cups, I feel like there's a fear around being vulnerable. There's a fear around expressing your feelings. But this is that page energy. This is that childlike energy where, you know, and the Three of Swords, Three of Cups, maybe you both were, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of mirroring here, so you guys experienced quite similar trauma. I was going to say tragedy. All right. So there's like, you're coming together with your Three of Cups and Three of Cups. See the red flags above those Three of Cups? They're both waving in the same direction. So I feel like you both are scared of the same thing. And instead of looking at it as like a red flag, I feel like there's an opportunity to be like your own little Cirque du Soleil, your own, I mean, physically speaking, sexually speaking, I feel like you guys are going to be quite wild and playful, right? And I feel like you need to enter the circus tent without fear and just play. Like, go into play. Approach with laughter. Approach with, you know, like a clown. You know, you get that like sad clown thing. You have the Fool over here, right? With the red stripes. Oh, the red strokes. Passions untamed. Garth Brooks. I don't know what he is. I don't know what his sign is, but maybe something in the Garth Brooks thing. And maybe last time you were in something, it left you in pieces, because that's the album that comes from. But yeah, it's gonna be, there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of playfulness, like waiting, which I know you guys like. So it's waiting, but I feel like there's just a fear that this person, because of this superficial sort of similarity, that there's a concern, and you both could be, I feel like you're both triggering each other. They see a similarity in you, you see a similarity in them. Maybe you guys have already met, or you have eyes on each other. The masculine usually has eyes on each other with the circus tent. I always think of like Big Fish, where the masculine, Ewan McGregor, he sees his person and he's like, I'm gonna marry her. Like, I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna marry her. And then time stops. They're at the opposite ends of the tent. But there are so many karmic things. Again, with Big Fish, could be a Pisces. But I do feel like with Pisces, you know, it's two fish. It's the yin and the yang. It's like you guys are so compatible. You're so much alike. And I feel like that might be triggering you guys into thinking that there's something wrong here. There must be something wrong here. Now, if it feels familiar energetically, not superficially, then that could be a karmic trying to come in and test you, right? Like this false moon. So maybe waiting until you, McGregor is also a Sagittarius, so maybe waiting, all right, and just observing. You can always approach and interact. If you're the masculine, you can always approach and interact with this person, but maybe just because of this passion, I feel like you guys need to be a little bit cautious about letting that become the thing that brings you together. Okay, so so maybe you just practice some abstinence, you just practice some restraint, and just observe each other's energy until we come out of this lack of clarity. If you're feeling any sort of fear and you want to make sure that this person's not a familiar cycle or a karmic cycle, maybe waiting until we get into Sagittarius season, right? Maybe waiting until we get out of this sort of dark, indecipherable period of sort of being this like shadow lurking, this devil energy, right? You don't want to approach love in fear. You want to approach it like the fool, right? This like clown energy, you know, the crying clown. It's like they paint their face on. You don't want to approach anything wearing any sort of mask, any sort of suit. You want to be completely exposed and vulnerable. And if you're wearing a smiling face but you're crying, you know, it's like your person's gonna pick up on that. Maybe that means something. But we have the two fish here again. It's very Dr. Seuss. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But see, this one fish is sort of biting. So maybe you dealt with a Pisces before, and that kind of like got you to where you're only playing with one fish, right? Maybe you tried that before, and see, they're sort of like mastering this giant fish. It's like one of these fish was a monster, all right? But you want to be completely open and honest and ready to be vulnerable. And if you feel, and you know yourself, if you feel like there's anything holding you back from that, then just be patient, take your time with it. You can still connect with somebody, and if it is your twin, which if we're talking about the divine union, all divine unions are twin flames, and you feel that bit of like egocentric trigger, right? Because that's what happens. You get triggered in the ego. A karmic will trigger your spirit. And that trigger feels like, oh, well, I'm supposed to be triggered in a twin flame connection. And so I'm going to continue down this path because I'm supposed to learn from this. You will learn from a karmic, but you will learn that I should have protected my spirit. You want someone who challenges your ego, because our ego gets in the way of love, right? The fear, the attachments, the devil energy, all that gets in the way of unconditional love. So you want someone who challenges and strengthens the ego, which is Sagittarius energy, and we have Temperance here. So it's like you can connect with your person, but it's like a lot of twin flames. Not all twin flames come into divine union, right? All divine unions are twin flames, but not all twin flames get into Mark Twain. I don't know what I was going to say there. Come into divine union, because when their ego is triggered, they can often be like, they become reactive. They don't want to explore that. They don't want to grow. They don't want to change. They don't want to do the shadow work that it takes to come into that union. So they will retract all of their energy, and then you get that runner-chaser dynamic, right? And that's toxic, and you can remain in that for all time, right? Until one or both of you both have to break the cycle. But one of you can break the cycle and say, I'm not going to be with my twin flame, because it's just, we're stuck in this runner chaser, and that's not healthy. So I'll go with a soul union, right? So a soulmate union. And then, you know, your twin flame can just be out there. But if you're staying attached in the runner chaser dynamic, then you are going to maintain that devil attachment, right? You're going to maintain that challenge to your ego, but you're not actually doing the work. So everybody that you attract, soulmate, karmic, all of them, they're all going to challenge your spirit. so that you learn that it's your ego you're supposed to be working on, right? Because the spirit doesn't need work. The spirit is unconditional. It's our mind and our body that need work. It's the ego, it's the little self. The big self is pure, right? That's where we came from, and it's where we return to. It's all the physical 3D stuff that needs work. It's the mind over matter. That's where the work needs to happen. So we have the Nine of Swords. Again, it came out finally in the other deck. So there's anxiety around sleep, there's overthinking, overprocessing, and so I feel like there's a need to just take this leap of faith. But again, you want to make sure that you are, see, if they're looking back at this fish that hurt them, and this fish here is leaping. This is like a flying fish, right? This fish is really in that mutable, it's in their air and in their water. It's in that ambiguous sort of unknown energy of the modalities of cardinal, fixed, and mutable. This person's in their mutable. Maybe you have a mutable sign in your chart. But yeah, it's coming into a place of fearlessness. You cannot approach love with fear. If you do, then it becomes an attachment, right? It becomes conditional. Conditions are attachments. It has to be unconditional. So filling your own cup up, making sure that you are approaching this person right. Now, if you're the feminine and you are struggling with that aggravation that this person is that your masculine is taking too long, then you are attracting them with conditional energy, because you're saying you need to be approaching me on my time, and you don't want to do that to your best friend, do you? Right? Page of Pentacles again. So we have double confirmation here. Yeah, let this person take their time because they're making sure that they approach you right. The masculine wants to come in right. They don't want to approach you too soon before they've done all this Eight of Pentacles work here with this wrench. They have to make sure all the nuts and bolts, all the nooks and crannies, everything is tight. So you want them to come in. That's the thing about a hermit. It's like, and Virgo. If you want something done right, ask a Virgo. They will do it. They're going to do it on their own time though, and you have to respect their time. So if you are dealing with someone in that energy, and you're the feminine and you're feeling aggravated, make sure that you are allowing them to do it in their time, right? So that it can become our time, because otherwise it will always be my time, your time, me versus you. Yeah, pull one more. Death and the Two of Cups. So yeah, I feel like we need to wait until we're out of Scorpio season, right? November 25th is when this asteroid gets the fuck out of our orbit, and then we can come into a place of clarity where we see our target and we've done that pullback, that temperance, that we've challenged our own ego, right? And we've come into a place of strength so that we are direct. We've exhaled, we've let everything come out of our lungs. We've sat in that waiting place of really looking down to the depths, with this little vessel here. It reminds me of Harry Potter when they're in the cave, right? Like the hermit goes down into the cave, and this looks like the little shell. It's like they've taken it from the ocean. It's like this pearly coated shell. What's that thing? What's that coating? It's not opaque, but I think it starts with an O. And maybe you need to keep that stone around you. But it's like that iridescent, pearly, sheen that's on the inside of a fucking shell. Why can't I think of that term? Anyway, if you know the term, that's what I'm talking about. But it's one of those shells, and they are, he has to remove all of this poisonous toxin and this liquid. He has to get it all out to get to the bottom. That's what exhaling is. That's what the temperance really is like getting all that toxic stuff out That could be physically, mentally. It's probably in all your bodies right now because we have all this Three of Swords and Devil energy. So it's like we need to, through death, through Scorpionic season, eliminating all that stuff, releasing the sexual tension. So maybe doing like a no fap month or whatever. Stop giving your energy to porn or to past experiences. All right, that's specific, but if you know, if that resonates, that's you. But be single. Don't just give into temptation, substance, thoughts. Right? Watch all of those things and give that to a higher power. Right? Which in the case of Harry Potter, he's literally letting Dumbledore drink this poison because Dumbledore is strong enough to do so, right? And he's instructed him to do so. So it's like giving this up to something else, letting go, sobriety, you know, and just practicing restraint, right? And that's the toughest challenge before coming into union, is really challenging your ego, testing yourself to give yourself strength. Because again, if you are not ready to have your ego tested by somebody else, if you're not willing to test your own ego, you're not going to be ready for somebody else to test it. Therefore, you're always going to be attracting people to test your spirit. Blah. All right, so yeah, that's like getting all the toxins out so that you can get to the bottom. You have to get to the Horcrux. You have to get to the shadow, the devil. You have to get to this manifestation of a darkness. All right, and Harry Potter and Voldemort are just like polarities because they're attached. There's an attachment. There's a link between them, and so they have to get that out. Right? You have to cut all those tethers. You have to destroy all of those Horcruxes, all of those connections within yourself, so that you can be freed from that tether. It's also the season for watching Harry Potter if that's what you're into, I guess. And I don't know what Dame Maggie Smith, what her birthday was, what her sign is, but she passed. They're all passing. It's unfortunate. But anyway, so yeah, I think we need to get through Scorpio season and come into Sagittarius season, so that we can conquer this shit before Capricorn season. All right. So get one leg up on the devil, right? Get one leg up on the devil, and not in like a freakalicious way. But anyway, yeah. So this is your Nine of Swords. Yeah, if you're like consuming caffeine, maybe that's why I talked about in my decaf coffee in the beginning. I don't know. If you're consuming caffeine or sugary things or a lot of information from your phone or from technology or social media or whatever, you know, swords of communication, this is blocking your sleep. So I feel like you really need to get into your third eye, to really tap into your intuition and your dreams and your water energy, so that you guys can meet up and meet on the same place of open emotional vulnerability and availability. You need to get your circadian rhythm down. You need to get your sleep cycle and your dream cycle. Pay attention to your dreams. And then we have the Two of Cups. So this is your union coming together. All right? It's coming together. So yeah, this is starting at the root. Right? This Caduceus, it's that snake. Right? It's getting that Kundalini, maybe doing some Kundalini yoga. And breath work, but this is clearing from the root down, you have to get all the way down your vessel. You have to get all the toxins out of your vessel so that you can literally eliminate through the root chakra, and spiritually, energetically eliminate by cutting cords and attachments to that devil energy through that Saturn energy, and then move your way all the way up so that you're able to tap into Leo, the sun, God, source, your crown. All right, this like angelic, divine intervention, right? Conquer the lion with your own strength. Yeah, maybe Daniel. Okay, I was like, I feel like I want to pull one more. It's never enough. And it's the Two of Cups in the Fool. So, yeah, clarification. You're going to have to take a leap of faith. You're going to have to be open. See this Fool? See this Fool right here? This one's looking back at the past, looking back at what hurt them. This one is open. And look what they have here. Nothing's hurting this dog is not biting them. Dogs are loyal. This is being loyal to your heart space, your heart chakra, your Leo, your moon, right? Your Pisces and your Leo energy is your heart chakra, okay? Because that's the sun and the moon. So it's really aligning the head, the heart, aligning the masculine and feminine aspects, and that brings the two of you together. So I hope there was something in here for you. And until next time, I wish you well.